deal, Mills? What's the deal, man? Fuck. Oh, man. They just played me with this bum-ass train on these rail tracks, man. But, yo, we got to get into this, man. My man Crawford is having a meltdown. And honestly, it's stubbornness. It's stubbornness, man. I mean, you go 2 and 3 years in a division after everybody done told you to do what it is they told you, you done did what everybody else told you to do, and motherfuckers still want to duck wreck. And now that y'all in a position where y'all want a motherfucking title shot, Keith Thurman, now all of a sudden, you click on the draw. You just like I've made videos about it, how he just completely just discredited Crawford's accomplishments at 147 pounds. Oh, he ain't fought nobody, the WB no, and all that shit. Now you want to fight because you're strapless. By the time it happens, look at him. The dude is so distraught and frustrated and aggravated with what's going on with not only them niggas not even mentioning his names on broadcast, but what's going on with his own promotional company. I saw this. I saw what he said. I don't need them. They need me. I've accomplished more than them. And honestly, he's, nobody at the, even Manny Pacquiao has never went undisputed. So he has a point. But what he doesn't, I don't think he understands that, bro. You do need that marquee name on your resume. He needs that. He needs that. And even I said it on one of the posts on Facebook. Even though Danny Garcia ran and ducked Victor Postal, that would be a more credible win because he's a marquee name. He's been in more high caliber fights. Even though Victor Postal was a very good win. I dare say it was a great win. I think people really underestimate how good of a win that was, and how the manner he went about beating him in. He completely that was destruction right there. So I feel like you need that marquee name. You need that marquee name, and this comment is being made out of frustration. And just about at a point where you like, man, I guarantee he's contemplating retirement just to completely isolate himself away from the bullshit. Because no fighter of this magnitude should have to scrape, and people should be kicking down his door begging for a fight. Instead, he got to go to infinity and beyond to get a fight. He has to go outside of who he is as an individual in order to, get a fight. That's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Bob Arum knew what he knew the temperament of your personality before he signed you. Know who you get to know your stable. It's as simple as that. Get to know who it is that you're signing before you sign them. You know what I'm saying? Don't just look at it from an investment standpoint, because you might not be. It might be a bad investment if you don't know how to work around their personality. And Crawford has a personality where it's going to require you to work around. He's not Adrian Broner. He's not a Gervonta Davis. And Gervonta Davis doesn't have a personality like that. It's just he's a pretty boy motherfucker with tats, little light skinned motherfucker. You dig? He's gonna attract those, ladies are gonna come out and see him. Ryan Garcia, he has a good personality, but it's like they're attracted to him. Devin Haney doesn't have personality like that, but they're building around him. Eddie Hearn is building around him, and now Jorge Linares. That's a great matchup. So you as a promoter, you have to know what the fuck you're doing when you go and you sign a fighter. You can't fault the fighter for you losing out on money. And because and it's not even his fault you're losing out on money. It's your bad matchmaking. What the fuck would make you think that Amir Khan would bring him more eyes than a Sean Porter or Keith Thurman? Fuck eyes. Fuck eyes. What would make you think that beating an Amir Khan would give him a fucking, you know, a notch on the ladder to Errol Spence over a Sean Porter or Keith Thurman or Danny Garcia? Why would you pay him $5 million? You could have gave $5 million to any one of them three names, and that would have been that could have been made years ago. That could have been made years ago. At least with Danny Garcia, you could have been made that fight. But you wanted to, man, come on, man. Just that, it's not even Bud's fault. It's his fault for signing with him, because I never wanted him to sign with Bob Arum. It's just like the writing is on the wall. Let him jumpstart your career and get the fuck out of Dodge after he does it. The minute you get the ball rolling, all right, cool. You played your role. I'm outie. Otherwise, he's just gonna hold you back. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. That's what Bob Arum is good for. There's no reason why. How do you lose a multitude of fucking first ballot Hall of Famers? How? How fucked up is it that Manny Pacquiao said, man, fuck a Bob Arum after being tied to him for years? That's alarming, bro. If he'll do Manny Pacquiao, Manny Pacquiao has made Bob Arum more money than any other fighter. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And look how he did him. Bob Arum is just, he no good, man. He no good. Get him the fuck out of here. I can't stand that old. I cannot stand his old, bro. Like, he gets on my nerves. So because Bob Arum is just, you know, he's just goofy when it comes to the career of Terrence Crawford. Now we're starting to see the frustration. Y'all keep dangling a Manny Pacquiao fight in this man's face, and he just is hell bent on getting this fight, which he should be. I'm not mad at him for wanting to fight, but he's not gonna get the fight as long as he's tied to you, Bob Arum. And because Manny, we're working on Manny Pacquiao. We're working on Manny Pacquiao. We're working on Manny Pacquiao. You can keep saying that and keep, you know, because you don't have a solid stock of welterweights. So if you can keep him anchored down the top rank, he can crash all the welterweights you got. I ain't gonna say that ain't about shit, because Velasquez is nice. But the Jose Benavidez, you know, bringing Amir Khan, bringing a Kell Brook, good wins, but they're not, you know, they're not Thurman, they're not Sean Porter. As long as you can dangle that carrot of Manny Pacquiao in his face, all right, cool, he'll stay. And all right, cool, all right, I'll fight, man. I'm gonna get Manny Pacquiao eventually. Despite him leaving you 2 years ago, despite him leaving you, I'll get the Manny Pacquiao fight eventually. No, bro. You have rode that Manny Pacquiao train. Oh yeah, we got a place in Dubai. We're on the third week of an announcement that was supposed to get announced, bro. Like, what? Y'all talking about a pay-per-view? Mortal Kombat out today. Mortal Kombat out today, and I'm taking my son to go see that shit, and I'm super crunk to go see it. Mortal Kombat out today. That means the month almost over. We about to be in May. You promised us a fight in June for pay-per-view in Dubai. Who's his dancing partner? And I guarantee you, they're being slow on the trigger because they're trying to figure out a way to sell a Jose Cito Lopez to us, or somebody of that magnitude. They're trying to figure, because that was in the talks for a minute as well. We haven't forgot about I ain't forgot about that shit. Jose Cito Lopez was most definitely in the talks for Terrence Crawford. I feel like you're gonna really, you rocking us, because there's no way in hell you got him a Manny Pacquiao fight and you're gonna promote it on a month's notice. There's no way in hell. No way in hell. No way in hell. It's not happening, bro. It's not happening. You didn't get that man no Manny Pacquiao fight. So who did you get him to fight? And if you got him a Josecito Lopez fight, you have tarnished this man's career up until this point. He's what, four, five fights into the division. We see Jeff Horn, Jose Benavidez, Amir Khan, Cav Velasquez, Kell Brook. He's 5 fights into the division. He's more than acclimated into the division. There's no reason why he should not have a marquee name on his resume when that is the hottest division in the sport. There's no reason for that. So unless you about to tell us you got him to fight a Virgil Ortiz on a 2 or 3 month turnaround, or Jaron Ennis, I don't see that happening. Who's the dude that Sergey Lipinets had a draw with on Showtime before he fought Ennis? I can't remember his name, but someone gonna fuck around and be him, someone of that ilk, or it's gonna be a Josecito Lopez. There is no excuse for the fuckery that you are doing with this man's career. How is it a pound for pound ranked fighter in the hottest division in the sport cannot get a proper fight? It's because of you. You don't want to open up your wallet more after what you did with Amir Khan, because you for some reason thought that was going to be no, that wasn't the move to make, my nigga. That wasn't the move to make. And now you look stupid because you know it was a bad investment. And because you don't want to do that, you run the risk of doing that again, you tight with the wallet now. Even though if you did it with a proper dance partner, you're not going to have that same outcome. You don't think Keith Thurman and Sean Porter fighting the Terrence Crawford can sell on the pay-per-view? Do really good numbers. You put Terrence Crawford in there with Sean Porter or Keith Thurman on pay-per-view, he's gonna do Errol Spence numbers, because people already know who he is. He averages a million, 2 million views on ESPN. Those are his averages. Fighting opponents who are not the household names of a Sean Porter. Now Sean Porter he can't sell a pay-per-view on his own. Keith Thurman can't sell a pay-per-view on his own. Terrence Crawford can't sell a pay-per-view on his own. But when those 3 powers combined, so what are we doing? I'm patiently waiting, man. I'm patient. No, I'm impatiently waiting. Because you doing dumb shit like this leads him to make the statements that he's making. If Terrence Crawford was to retire today, it would be a waste of a career, because he does not have the names that would elevate him into the Hall of Fame, where you can make arguments. He could possibly beat so-and-so. From a skill set standpoint, we see. It's clear as day. It's clear as day. But he just needs to match that with the opponent. He needs to do that with a reliable opponent. He's yet to do that. And you're to blame for it. Keith Thurman was begging for that fight. Sean Porter was begging for that fight. And you nickel and diming him. What's $5 million to a dude who's been in the business for 5 decades? $5 million to get you. I just think this is. You're not about to sit here and tell me you don't have that money. You can't convince me of that. If you can waste that shit on an Amir Khan, you can blow that shit on Keith Thurman and Sean Porter. Your mentality is just so ass backwards with you, bro. Like, you'll spend $5 million on an Amir Khan who hasn't. No one has been really. He's a top top 20 welterweight, yeah, but not no top 10. He's not bringing prestige to a Terrence Crawford on the scale of a fucking Sean Porter or Keith Thurman. But you'll throw him 5 M's. You'll throw him 5 M's You fuck up on that, now you tight with the wallet. And the only way you'll open up the wallet is if he fights Errol Spence or Manny Pacquiao. But the thing is, Errol Spence isn't coming to fight a Terrence Crawford. He's not gonna meet Terrence Crawford on your playing field. You at this point, you can't afford him, because you won't get the nigga that he's got that's in the scope in there with a lot with the adequate competition. So Earl's like, nah, he got to do this and that. Like, he's playing them little bullshit Hollywood games. And you're not gonna get a fight with Manny Pacquiao, because Manny Pacquiao is not going to he's not gonna patronize you because of the little whole shit you did to him. So those are the only two fighters you're willing to open up your wallet for and properly compensate. But you won't properly compensate the niggas who could get him in a position to put leverage, to take leverage off of Errol Spence and put it back in favor of him. What kind of business mogul are you, bro? What kind of businessman are you? How does that register in your head? Manny Pacquiao, Errol Spence. But ignore the other moving parts in the fucking division that will make that fight more adequate. Manny Nah, I'm not. Nah, I'm not even gonna do that. I'm not even gonna go there. Bud, get away from this dude. Far away from him. Y'all don't even need to be within 3 states of each other. Y'all need to be that far apart. Because this is sad. This is sad. This is terrible. This is terrible. This is terrible. The pound for pound, top 5 pound for pound is in a position where he can't get adequate competition in the hottest division in the sport because of his resume. When people should be knocking down his door to fight him. A shot at a title, a shot to get on the pound for pound list. You do realize if you beat Terrence Crawford, you get on the pound for pound list. You possibly even usurp Errol Spence. And nobody wants to entertain it. Nobody has wanted to entertain it up until now. And the ones who are willing to entertain it, who are the still top 5 welterweights in the division, you will not properly compensate. Like, this story, it writes itself. It dead ass writes itself. Like, I don't think anybody, nobody could be a part and involved in a sport for this long and be this lackluster as far as intellect within it, man. This is ridiculous. It's a travesty. This is a travesty, man. How you can sit here and do this to this man and just, you look like a dickhead. Robert Arum, whatever your whole ass name is. Oh, fuck. You look, wow, you look remedial at this point. Like, you look like a rookie. A rookie. A 50-year-old rookie, a man with 50 years worth of experience as a promoter, you look like a rookie. These are rookie mistakes. Rookie mistakes that you're making with 50 years in the business. Bud, get away from this dude. At this point, I wouldn't even mind a Danny Garcia fresh off of an Errol Spence loss. I would not. I wouldn't mind it. Because if he's gonna try and line you up with Josecito Lopez, that's just unacceptable, bro. Danny Garcia off a loss is a better name to have on your resume. They're gonna find a way to knock you for it, due to the fact that he beat, or you would have to knock, you'd have to knock him the fuck out. you'd have to completely knock him the fuck out. Stop him, knock him down, drop. I'm talking brutalize this nigga. Which I think you can. I think Thurman could have did it if had he not got hurt. But you're gonna have to brutalize this dude. And you know it. Oh my God. Danny Garcia is a far better opponent selection than a Jose Cito Lopez. Even off that loss with Earl Spence. So if it's not Danny Garcia, bro, then you just, even if it is Danny Garcia, you need to get away from from Bob Arum, because he has nothing to offer you. He doesn't. Nothing to offer you. Your career is going to be stagnant as long as you're with him. As long as you're with him, they're never going to respect you as a welterweight, because he's not going to give you the opponents to force their respect. They'll see the skill set, but they'll be like, oh, well, who has he done it against? Please, champ, get away from this nigga. You are champion. As Nebraskans, you're our champion. Get away from this motherfucker. He is not worthy to have you under his motherfucking promotional banner. He's not. It is what it is, man. If you just get away from him, bud. I don't even have anything else to say about it, man. Peace.